Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Justin Harvey here with another fantastic radio episode for World Martial Arts Radio. And tonight, I want to welcome a wonderful martial artist. I want to welcome Sensei Parks to the show. He's from Florida. Welcome, sir. I'm glad to have you.
Thank you very much, Justin. I'm indeed excited and happy to be here on the show with you.
I'm ecstatic about having you, and I got to tell you, setting up this show the other day, I had a blast speaking with you. Tell us about your school and your area, sir.
Well, this is an interesting story. We are a branch member of the Dragon Dojang, founded by Grandmaster Yong him in 1955. His school is located in the Dragon Valley in UiJongBu, South Korea. Opened in 1984, we were given the name American Dragon Martial Arts Academy. So that's the beginning, and that's what we're operating under today.
Wow. And I understand that you are a director of the US National Taekwondo Association?
Yeah, the Taekwondo Association. I was actually on a committee in 1999 when we began forming the organization in cooperation with the Korean Martial Arts Instructors Association. So we were working hand in hand to develop this.
Oh, wow. How long have you been a part of the US National Taekwondo Association, sir?
Oh, well, this is 2018, so 19 years, which time flies when you're having fun, literally.
Absolutely, because I've always believed if you're having fun, it's a joy to go to work, so to speak. It's not work if you're having fun.
Oh, I agree with you, Justin. I mean, that's what martial arts is all about, having fun and learning.
Absolutely. Okay, I know that you began your martial arts training in traditional karate style. Tell us what that was like.
Well, actually, I began my training in Shotokan was my first instructor, which is very similar to Tang Soo Do, which I have an 8th degree black belt in.
Oh, wow.
But it was a lot of hard work, a lot of sweating. One thing I always remember was wearing a very heavy uniform top, that was jiu-jitsu type top. And I got up off the floor to take a break, and the logo from the school was on the floor in sweat. So lots of training, and I think I probably trained 4 or 5 days a week. I did a lot of private classes with my instructor over a couple of years.
Oh, wow. And tell us about your position as the sparring coach of the USNTA National Taekwondo team.
Oh, yeah. Well, I never really planned to be a coach, but as time went by, it became a natural progression. I had been personally coaching my 2 daughters on the national level. My oldest daughter really excelled at sparring, so I got the experience there. And then I had graduated from the master's course for Korean Martial Arts Instructors Association, and along I was attending some referee training. And I worked hard at many of the top tournaments as a judge, referee, and was appointed as a coach to the USNTA by Grandmaster Jong Kim.
Oh, wow. Well, with that, sir, if you don't mind, I need to take a quick commercial break. And now here's a word from our sponsors. Yes, and we're back to this wonderful show with Sensei Park. I got to tell you, sir, I'm having a wonderful time. So
I am too, Justin. And again, I've said it, and I'll say it again. I'm deeply honored to be on the show with you.
it's completely my honor, sir. And with that said, what got you interested in martial arts in the first place?
Well, growing up in the mid-'60s, I grew up in a rural area where we only had 3 TV stations, and one of them had the Green Hornet on it with Bruce Lee playing Kato. So
yeah.
that kind of got my interest up. Then there was a brother of this guy I went to high school with, played football, was in the military, and came back, and he, I'm not sure exactly where he was stationed, but he had gotten his first-degree black belt in, I guess, karate, so that would have been Japanese, while he was overseas, and that kind of sparked my interest also.
Yeah. Oh, wow. And what specifically got you interested in the Korean arts, sir?
The Shotokan forms was very similar to Tong Soo-Do, so that kind of eased the transition, plus the people I've been associated with and have gotten to know with Grandmaster Richard Hackworth, Grandmaster Greg Glover, Grandmaster Gary Pointer, and Grandmaster Greg Lee. These were all dedicated Korean martial artists, and so that really, really kind of helped solidify me in the Korean arts.
Oh, wow, that's amazing. And my next question would probably tie into Bruce Lee, I'm thinking, but we'll get your response. Who or what do you think has influenced you the most in your martial arts career, sir?
Well, these guys I just mentioned, after getting to know them, I feel like we're brothers in martial arts. In seeing the knowledge and the wealth of knowledge all these guys have, how much they know about it, I learn something every time I talk with them. Whether it's Master Hackworth, Master Lee, Grandmaster Lee, Grandmaster Glover, or Pointer. I mean, these guys are dedicated. I think Grandmaster Pointer's been involved in martial arts for over 50 years. How can you not learn something from somebody that is that knowledgeable?
Sir, and I was just on the show, and he was a blast to have on the show, sir. I just love Gary Pointer. He's awesome.
Yeah, I understand that. It's a thrill to be in the presence with him and the things and comments he says. He comes across with some funny sayings occasionally.
Oh, I can believe that. But moving on, sir, what are some tips of learning sparring, sir, in your opinion?
I think the two main benefits of sparring for our students and any students, first, you develop self-confidence and confidence to help develop your skills. And the discipline to carry out what you've learned. Sparring is not fighting. Sparring is executing techniques and developing your skills in the martial arts. We don't teach people to fight. Fighting is what you see in the street. We teach people to be martial artists, not street fighters.
Yeah, exactly. And with that said, sir, I need to take another quick commercial break from words from our sponsors.
Hi, Stephanie Ma here again with a special report from World Martial Arts Media about LegacyFightGear.com. Legacy Fight Gear is the official supplier to the world's oldest and most respected martial arts organizations. They have been manufacturing high-quality, affordable products for over 30 years. Visit their new online catalog at LegacyFightGear.com today. School owners who want to raise money for their teams can register to get a wholesale account and become a distributor for LegacyFightGear.com. Don't forget to like our official page at www.facebook.com/LegacyFightGear.
And we are back on World Martial Arts Radio with Sensei Parks, and I got to tell you, sir, right now, I'm in heaven just talking martial arts. I'm in heaven right now, sir. So this is wonderful.
Well, Justin, you're too kind, and I certainly appreciate that.
But my next question to you is, sir, what is your view on martial arts philosophy? That's a loaded question, huh?
Kind of, but it's a good question. The philosophy is treat others like you would have yourself treated, your family treated, those that you care about. The way you want to treat them is the way you treat others. One other thing I firmly believe, we learn from everybody. Doesn't necessarily mean they have to be a black belt, a master, grandmaster. We can learn from our students too. But I think we have to instill humbleness. Not an example. I taught did some substitute teaching in the school system here in Florida, and I see too many of these kids that are loud and boisterous just to gain attention. We don't need the attention. If we have something to handle, a situation arises, we'll take care of it and walk away. We don't have to be out standing in front of the crowd telling them how great I am. You know, that was Muhammad Ali for his boxing match, and he did a wonderful job of it.
Something about it is he would say something's going to happen, and it would. I mean, it's always going to be a mystery on how he actually did that kind of stuff. In my mind, he was a brilliant mind in the boxing industry, actually.
Okay, yeah, that is very true. I certainly agree with you on that, Justin.
Okay, sir, tell my audience, what is your website address? That way people can actually, reach out to you personally. Maybe they want lessons or just, advice on the martial arts.
Yeah, the best way to get a hold of me is through www.usnta.net. That's the best address. This is a complete Taekwondo information resource for everyone from the beginners to grandmasters. We provide a complete start-to-finish career path for our members. Yeah, we're doing an instructor training program, which is excellent. We're helping people from starting with lower belts to progress on upward. By the time they graduate from the program, it's going to take them 2 or 3 years. Master Hackworth and I have dealt with over the years.
Oh, wow. And with that said, sir, I need to ask you for a second and say, time to pay some bills. Be sure to support our sponsors. We'll be right back on World Martial Arts Radio.
Hi, I'm Stephanie Ma from World Martial Arts Media, and today I'm here to tell you about LegacyBelts.com. Legacy Championship Belts and Awards is the world's premier manufacturer of custom and cast championship title belts who supplies belts to top professional boxing, MMA, and wrestling organizations on the planet. If you're a promoter or collector looking for a high-quality MMA, martial arts, boxing, wrestling belt, or even a belt for a special event, then you need to visit LegacyBelts.com today. Be sure to like us at www.facebook.com/LegacyBelts.
Taekwondo training, fellowship, and spirit. The US National Taekwondo Association is your link to the traditional Taekwondo of Korea. We offer both national and world certifications. Our mission is to provide a fraternal organization for the promotion and preservation of Taekwondo as a martial art. We strive to service all needs of the traditional stylist from the highest level grandmaster to the beginner student. Enjoy the many benefits we offer. Grade and black belt certifications, instructor and master instructor courses, tournament insurance, success seminars, state, national, and international competitions, business support, martial arts supplies, monthly e-newsletter, and private training tours of Korea. Not only do we teach the best techniques, but Korean philosophy as well. We develop the complete mind, body, and spirit philosophy. Visit www.usnta.net to join today.
And we are back with Sensei Parks. And I tell you, this is going by way too quick. But that's what happens when you're having fun.
Yeah, I agree with you.
My next question, too, might be a loaded question as well. Being being a traditional stylist, what do you think about twirling, weapon, flipping style formats that are in tournaments these days? What do you think of that?
Well, I think you're talking about gymnastics, aren't you? That's what it sounds like. But, this is all done in open karate terms. And when I use the word karate, that's talking about Japanese, because everything I do is Korean. But an open tournament to me means that there are many different styles competing. All this flipping of baton twirling, style forms, that is not traditional. I just can't see some Shaolin monk doing backflips, across the water. But I don't think that's the true essence of martial arts. Anybody, if you're an Olympic gymnast, okay, you need to do this. But why do we have to see this at tournaments? Show me real martial arts. Don't show me a show.
Yeah, because wouldn't you say that it would kind of remind you of what is that basketball team? Harlem Globetrotters. Would that kind of remind you of, Harlem Globetrotters in a sense, where they put on a show and do all these fancy tricks with basketballs?
Yeah, that's a good thought, Justin. I've never thought about that. That's an excellent analogy. Yes, the Harlem Globetrotters are outstanding athletes, but how would they stand up against LeBron James and the Cleveland or some of the national NBA championship teams? They could probably compete, but I don't think they would stay with them.
Yeah. Absolutely. And moving on, sir, because we kind of had a discussion a little bit about this next question in a sense, but do you think that events like the UFC help or hurt martial arts schools?
In one way, I think they hurt it, because UFC is not martial arts. If you're in a fight, you have to defend yourself. You have no rules. UFC has rules that they have to go by when they fight. So, in a way that when people realize that the UFC is not a martial arts, hopefully it will guide people to martial arts schools.
Yeah.
Too many of these guys that are UFC fighters, there was a guy from Florida, from Miami, street fighter. He was in the UFC a couple of years. They disappeared. But you do not see these people with longevity in that form of sport.
Yeah. Now, I will say, sir, when the UFC first started, it was a lot like blood sport. There wasn't a whole lot of rules, and then people thought that it was too violent, so then they started enforcing the rules and dialing it back a notch, so to speak.
Yeah, I mean, can you see two guys, you're out on the street, and some guy tries to mug you, or you're with your girlfriend or wife, and they try to drag her off and rape her. Now, is that against the rules? There are no rules of what you have to do. If somebody pulls a gun at you, I know what I'm going to do. If I can't get the gun away from them, I have my weapon, I'm going to shoot them. I mean, that's really simple. But, UFC, the longevity of these guys is probably 2 or 3 years. There's been a few of them made it big. Randy Couture made it big. Not the UFC gave him an opportunity to play in the Expendable movies.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at some of the guys, what's happened to them like that. But UFC is not a martial art. It's a sport.
Yeah, it's a sport. Because it's like boxing. Boxing is a sport. Football is a sport, but but when you talk about martial arts, I'm like you. I'm like a traditionalist. I believe in true martial arts.
Well, Justin, one thing we don't consider, especially like the Olympics, the people that are coaches at the Olympics, they're not senseis, they're not quadrinims, sabinims. they're not martial arts instructors. They're coaches. You
Yeah.
know, that's all
Yeah.
they do. If you watch a Olympic event with Taekwondo, they're only limited to kicking certain points and spots on the padding, the chest pads, to score points. You know, but that's the way it is, an Olympic event, and, you know, they have coaches that coach it.
Absolutely, sir. I mean, I could go on and on all day with you, sir, but in closing, do you have any training advice or suggestions for our listeners, sir?
This I most definitely do. If you're beginning and looking for a martial arts instructor, check his lineage out. You know, lineage tells you, okay, where does he come from? What direction is he going? Who are his instructors? Who's the instructor's instructor? Can you trace it back for 200 or 300 years? One of the things I strongly believe that if you make a statement, I know of a guy here in the Orlando area at 19 claimed to be the founder of his own style.
Mm-hmm.
And that's totally ridiculous. And if you claim to be something, somebody's going to call you out.
Oh, absolutely.
And this guy got called out by a grandmaster in Hapkido from Nashville, Tennessee, whose name is Chris Garland. Chris, I had a conversation with this guy, and there were two people that were hoping Chris didn't come to Florida to talk to them about the era of their way.
Mm-hmm.
And they were literally, you know, feared for what would happen. You know, if you claim something, you're going to have to back it up at some point in time. So I guess the bottom line is, and I'm going to use kind of like Grandmaster Hackworth being politically incorrect and ranting and raving. If you can't back it up, you better keep your mouth shut, because your foot's going to go where you right in your mouth.
Absolutely. And once again, sir, and then unfortunately I'm going to have to wrap up the show, but I'll tell you what, I would love to have you back on again sometime in the near future.
Sure, I'd love to do that. You can reach me personally at my Facebook page, which is www.facebook.com/Grandmaster Fred Parks.
If you ever need that information again, folks, you can always contact me on Facebook and Twitter at Justin Ray Harvey, and I'll be sure to pass that info on to you. And I want to say thank you for joining me, and I want to say to my listeners, thank you for listening, and we'll be back with another episode real soon on World Martial Arts Radio, so stay tuned.